When it comes to how I'm feeling, I have to say I think I'm actually feeling pretty good because I know in a lot of our lifestyles, like especially in my own, a lot of the times I leave the house in 7 in the morning and I get back like after 9 or 10. And some weekends, like if I have a trip, I don't come home at all. Like I haven't spent a Saturday at home before quarantine for months. But finally, like I get to finally sit at home, relax. Like I think before this, I didn't realize that I didn't need as much human interaction as I was getting. Like I never got time alone, but I finally got to do that now. So I've been feeling pretty good thus far. That'll probably change a couple weeks later, but for now I'm feeling pretty good. So I wouldn't say I'm struggling right now either. But when it comes to coping, I'd say to still make sure that I'm not like isolating myself, I still FaceTime my friends at least once a day. I make sure I have like an agenda with my complete schedule done every single day to make sure that I'm staying on top of things. So I'm not just like sitting in bed and kind of like losing purpose. Because I think one of the most important things to be doing this time is to make sure you still have a purpose with what you're doing. Like just sitting around eventually, like you won't know what to do with yourself. But when you make sure you have like a goal and a purpose that helps you keep yourself through it. And I think when it comes to what we've learned, we've come to realize that we already have access to a lot of the resources that we really need. Like before this, my school had never used e-learning despite having the platform. We developed it more than 5 years ago, but never used it. But because of this, we've come to actually use our resources. So I think it'll teach us to use it in the future too. And like when it comes to other resources, like I haven't seen a lot of big inventions during this time, but a lot of the stuff already existed. So we're learning how to actually use our resources. So I think that's a big thing we've learned. And when it comes to changing the world, um, I'd say one of the biggest things is once again having that time, because personally I've used this time to change the world and being able to reconnect with AMP because I've now been able to have time to like create sound waves, meet back with people that were like working on projects together. And in UNICEF in my own school, I've been able to attend at least 2 webinars every week that I could never do before. And me and some of my friends from across the state are working on developing a new entire organization, which we talked about for 2 years now, but we were always like, we'll do it later. But we finally had time to like sit down and develop it. That I think when it comes to changing the world, a lot of the times we're stuck in the pace of it. But now we finally have time to do it ourselves and isolate ourselves to be able to implement it once we're back together.
Amazing. Thank you, Cynthia. Again, so concise. I want to just like take all of your conciseness and just have it for myself, because if there's one thing I'm not, it's concise. But thank you so much for sharing all of that. Yeah, it sounds like you're busy. You're busy doing lots of really, really great stuff, which is amazing. And I love your kind of picking apart of like how all of that creativity and innovation and like motivation can actually come up in those moments of being slower, and where we're actually like we don't have as much pace in life, where we're doing all of these things all the time and thinking that like that's the only way to make change, to be like busy, 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 and actually like isolating and having a slower pace, resting, being able to connect with people in a different way, is also a really, really good way of like being able to do those things that you always wanted to do. So really appreciating that. Also, just to amplify the part that you were saying about we already have everything we need. I just think that was so beautifully put. Like, and that goes for us as people, as individuals as well. You already have everything that you need. It's just about getting out of your own way and getting rid of the things that get in your way in order to bring your full self to anything and everything. So thank you. Awesome. Great. Who's next?
Oh, I can go next. Yeah. So, I'm similar to Cynthia because I'm feeling pretty good in these times, because it's allowing me to rest more and take time for myself. But I don't know, I also agree with her in that I might be struggling in a few weeks from now. And the way that I cope with that is by doing art more, because that's like my favorite thing to do. And now that I have more time, like I'm able to do it more, which like improves my mental state on so many levels. And I get to like speak to my friends from the comfort of my own home, which I think is like an ideal situation for me. And then for the next question, I'm learning about how for me it's like I'm still staying productive, but I'm focusing more on things that aren't really related to school, like extracurriculars and kind of things that I believe make more of a difference on the world. So I'm learning that that's more important to me than like some of the assignments and things that we have for school, which are just like they feel a little bit more mundane, especially in a time like this. So I'm still staying caught up on all that, but it just made me realize how much I value other things more. And then for number three, I hope that this time makes people see that we need to change the systems we have in place for everything, but like something that's impacting me is education. So I hope that they're able to um, like alter the existing ways that we handle those. And I know that some people that I know are having a hard time like financially because they're unable to work and stuff now, and they have a lot of like more serious problems because of that. So I really hope that gets addressed in the future.
Amazing. Thank you, Meghna. Yeah, really, really appreciating you, and also the way in which you're listening for like who are the people that are struggling, who are the people that are not in this room, who are having a more difficult time, and where the slowness or the stillness actually isn't, for example, more productive, right? Or an opportunity to be creative, and actually it's a time of worry and deep concern. So I really appreciate you bringing those voices into this conversation as well. Thank you, Meghna.